Hey, Tony Gaston here, popping in for another episode of Talks with Tony. Now, I'm not sure how many we'll get through, but we're just gonna uh, go through them. Let me see. So we're gonna read these together. Now, I've been trying to see another video. I got to get through two or three of them in one, so I'm keeping that in mind. So I'm trying to, catch up the best I can. Hi, Tony. Please keep me anonymous. Yes, we'll do that. Thank you so much for your videos. May God bless you and your family. Thank you, Lord. I am 25 years old, and for as long as I can remember, I have always been a no-nonsense, strong woman when it comes to men. I don't tolerate mistreatment, and I do not hesitate to let any man go. However, I am at the stage where I am ready to meet my husband. I feel as though I am at a great place in my life. I have a great job. I volunteer at 3 different organizations. I'm working towards making my dreams come true, and I'm really embracing my singleness and love taking myself out and spoiling myself. I have a lot of self-love, and I know I deserve the best, although it gets lonely at times. I refuse to settle for any less than I deserve. When I am out and about, men approach me. However, I do not give my contact details out, as either I am not attracted to them or something inside me tells me not to entertain them. Am I being too harsh and not entertaining the ones who approach me, as I am patiently waiting for the man who makes me want him too? Or am I doing the right thing by not refusing to settle? Thank you. All the best. That's a great question. That's a great question, and it's a fine line. It's a very fine line. And what you have to realize is that, for one, to have men approaching you, that's a good thing. It's a lot of women today who, regardless of how they dress or how they look, say they don't have men even approaching them. So to have men approaching you, that's a good problem to have. Now, to not be attracted to a man, that's something to where I would say, you kind of keep it moving. But the other part, something inside me tells me not to entertain them. That's kind of really, on that one, I wouldn't listen to that as much, because it really could just be your day that you're having. It could be your mindset. It could be one little thing that's telling you that, and it could be an off day for him. He could just, didn't put his outfit together right. Had a long day, had his mouth closed for too long, so he got a little hint on his breath. Just ate him some onions or some garlic. Could have just woke up from a nap, got a little cold in his eye, and it's a lot going on that just could be just throwing him off a little bit. And for you to just say, I ain't feeling it, if you say you want to meet your husband. Because the thing about it is, what you have to realize, the man who approaches you that you are just swooning over, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good right there, so we're going to use that you just swooning over, that's probably not a good sign, because it most likely means that it's your lust, and that it is all physical, because you don't know a person's personality. So a man could have one little thing off with him, even 2 little things off with him, and you keep it moving just off that first interaction. When you talk to him actually on the phone and you spend that hour and y'all conversing, then you realize, wow, this is a cool dude. Like, very articulate, very intelligent, like very, manly and respectful. And man, I was wrong about him. And that happens all the time with anything. Like when you talking to people, new friends, new coworkers, what have you. Like when you actually talk to somebody, sometimes what you read about them on the initial meeting, you realize you were wrong. And so you have to, my thing is, today it's a different day. It is a different day. Like, because of social media, it's so easy now for men to meet women online. So the fact that you have men that are still man enough and bold enough and confident enough to approach you, you have to give him a little bit of credit just for that. Because he could just be this, video gaming man who only writes women on the Facebook or the Instagram DM. And that's what a lot of men are going to today. So the fact that a man approaches you, that already puts him a notch above the average man. And then when you give him your phone number, that's all he has is your phone number. He doesn't have your home address. He doesn't have your last name. He just has your phone number. And men, we're not like women in the sense of, if you talk to a man, 6 times and then you say, I'm gonna tell you the truth, my name is actually Jessica, not Lindsay. And he's like, a man gonna be like, okay, so why you told me this? So why you lied to me? And then when you say, well, honestly, it's just a lot of crazy men, and I just didn't want to be Googled. I didn't want, if you happen to be crazy, it's just crazy guys out here today. Like, they literally kidnapping women, chopping women up. You tell whatever story you want to tell, and the man gonna understand that. Sometimes I've seen, a woman. A lot of women get mad, like they meet a man and he in a hoopty, and they start talking to him, and then a month later he pull out in the Benz and he like, I always had a Benz. I just wanted to know you like me for me. A lot of times the woman to get angry about that. Oh, you lied to me and I can't trust you. Whereas men for the most part is not gonna be like that. And if a man does get mad about that, then that lets you know he petty. Go on about your business. Because I'm telling you right now, a real man ain't going to care about that. He going to respect that, honestly. A real man going to respect that. Got the here lotion sitting on here. I forgot. My wife brought me the lotion because sometimes in between my thumbs, that thumb and that pointer finger be like I've been playing in chalk. Y'all forgive me. I wouldn't even ask you right now. I just seen that lotion. I want to get me a little bit of the lotion. And so that's what you have to understand and realize. So here's my thing, and this is what I recommend. Now, you could take it or leave it because, y'all know everything. So I'm just talking to myself on here. But what I recommend is any man that approach you, unless just like crazy alarms go off in your head to where he literally look to where it just like it's going crazy in your mind, like your little radar, I would give them a phone number. It could be the phone to your little back phone, to your little side phone that you give to every person until they get upgraded to the main phone. It could be the Google Voice number, or whatever number from the app that you use to take phone calls. It could be whatever kind of number. But I would give them that number. Have an initial conversation with them. See how he converses. If he don't know how to talk, he don't know how to hold a conversation, then boom, he cut off. If he does not know how to talk, then in that conversation that goes 30 minutes to an hour, you're going to find out if this is the type of person you want to deal with. If it's not the type of person you want to deal with, now your intuition was right. And now you never have to talk to him again. You could be woman enough to say, hey, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. We're just not really compatible, and I know this isn't going to go anywhere. So I just want to let you know, like, I think it's best that we part ways. However he get off the phone after that, just be okay with it. Like, don't chase him. Don't be mad if he, cussing you out. Yeah, that's why you're single now. And I'm going to tell you what. You actually ugly. And hang up on you. However he do it. You just got to be, don't get in your feelings. And you want to call him back and have one more closure conversation. What? I need you to explain to this. Why are you calling me ugly and stank just because I don't want to talk to you? And then he get you trapped in because he attack your ego. And and that's the thing. I would imagine every woman have gone through that at some point of a man trying to holler at you, you telling him no, and then him cursing you out while you walking away. My wife used to tell me it used to happen to her. She'll turn somebody down. Oh, stinking such and such. You ain't all that anyway. And so some men gonna do that, and you just got to be okay with it. But that first conversation, you're gonna be able to know, and it's a 1-day contract. It's a 1 phone call contract, to where this 1 phone call gets you another phone call, or it gets you cut off. This second phone call gets you a third phone call, or it gets you cut off. And I would recommend doing that so that you increase your chances of meeting your husband. Because I'm going to be honest with you, and I know you want to hear this fairy tale, but we don't really live in the world where you have the luxury to just be turning down all kind of men just because you just got a feeling. Because for one, you're 25 years old. That feeling is not too good. That radar is not that good because you're too young. You're a baby. Now, if you was 45, 50, okay, that radar sharp. That radar have been tested so many times. That thing sharp. 25, you really don't know your left from right in a relationship at 25 years old. You really don't know if you're looking at a grown man or a grown boy. And 9 out of 10 times, the man you waiting on to make your senses jump is probably a devil in disguise. It's probably a devil in a handbag, in a handbasket with gasoline drawers on and finna wreck and ruin your life. Because the devil of men is always gonna be charming, romantic, smelling good, looking good to you, tall, dark, and handsome. Everything. That's who the devil gonna use to ruin God's daughters' lives. The devil not finna use Lil Ugly. The devil not finna use Lil Ugly, cause he know that Lil Ugly is turning your stomach. And then, I got a feeling. Excuse me, no. Unfortunately, I'm taken. Unfortunately, I have a boyfriend. The devil know that's what you telling Lil Ugly, so he not finna use Lil Ugly to ruin the lives of God's daughters. So it's actually the looks challenge man is actually the man who, he might still do you wrong because he keep getting passed on by every woman he approached because they keep getting a feeling in their stomach because they waiting on chemistry to jump. They waiting on this feeling that you waiting on. Now the man that give you that feeling, that's who the devil want to use. And you always meet a decoy before you meet destiny. You always meet a distraction that look like destiny before you meet destiny. And I ain't talking about Destiny Child. So before you meet the man that God got for you, the devil finna send you unknown amount of men that look just like your husband. Look like them, walk like them, talk like them, smell like them. To see which one of them you gonna fall for. It's gonna be cubic zirconia. For those of y'all don't know what cubic zirconia is, it's like the fake diamond. Look like a diamond, but it ain't. He's gonna be cubic zirconia wrapped in a beautiful Tiffany's box. So you gonna think it's a diamond. And then the diamond who come up to you, the diamond in the brown bag, you're gonna pass on. You're gonna pass on the diamond in the brown bag, and you're gonna fall for the cubic zirconia in a Tiffany's box because you're waiting on a feeling. You're waiting on the sparkle. When you're not a prophet, so that feeling is off. And God forbid you a psychic, because that's of the devil. Yeah, that's of the devil. And all these psychic and tarot readers on my page, listen, y'all, you channeling the wrong spirits. I hate to tell y'all that. I hate to tell y'all to read the Bible. All the tarot cards, all them tarots. Listen, that's not of God. God is not in the business of telling you your future and reading you all of this here, all this. The Bible tells you to stay away from that kind of stuff. Yeah, you need to walk by faith. Stop trying to go get a card read and get your palm read and all. That's of Satan. That's who in the business of doing all of that right there, future reading and all of this here. God is in the business of walking by faith and knowing and trusting that what is for you is for you. So understand that right there. So you can have that. You ain't got that on you. The way you just could read a man like that, as on the good side or the bad side, the prophet or the psychic. You ain't got that. So when you looking at these men, you literally, that little brown stuff he got on his teeth, that could be a little bit of his chocolate cake he just had. But he can have that little brown stuff on his teeth. He got a little brown streak on his teeth, and you, well, thank you so much. That was so kind. But unfortunately, I'm not interested at the time being. I'm just not dating right now. Whatever lie you finna tell him, guess what? $50. Dennis would have knocked that little brown off his teeth. Now he's smiling bright. Now he just a cheesing ear to ear, and now he your husband. Now he your husband. But that one little thing you passed on him. And so that's what I'm saying. Them flip flops he had on, with that big toe hanging out, scrubbing the ground. Okay, he just did not understand you got to get your flip flops a half a size bigger. Now you come into his life, that big toe keeps scrubbing the ground, and the heel scrubbing the ground. You let him know. Oh, did you know you actually supposed to get your flip flops a size bigger, or at least a half size bigger? What? Really? I ain't know that. I was wondering. I'm like, man, I keep cutting my heel on the ground. I'm like, man, why do you think run small? And you actually could do something for that toenail. You play sports? Oh, okay. I could tell by your toenails. Now, you know what you could do for the brown toenail? You see what I mean? Sometimes it's just like we come into each other's life and we make each other's life better by we know something that the person don't know. So it's no wife that's ready. And it's no husband that's ready. It's all us gonna have a little maintenance under the hood that need to be done. And I'm gonna tell y'all today, it just is not enough men walking around to be walking around here super duper picky. It's like you need to try the spirit by the spirit. Like, get that phone number, give them that phone number, go and have that conversation, and then see. And then let it be decided after that conversation. But don't just let it be every time off of one little look, one little conversation. Because you might turn him down because his voice shaking. Got a little high-pitched voice. That could be just because you got a frog in his throat because of how attracted he is to you. But then once he calm down and relax a little bit, y'all get on the phone. Now that bass in his voice come out. Yeah, hello. And you're like, who is this? Because when I met him, he was like, excuse me. But now he on the phone. Hello. Hey, how you doing? And so now, you like, whoa, but he done calmed down. He ain't looking you in the eyes. He just talking on the phone. So now you get a whole nother feel. So I'm going to tell y'all, like, listen, don't get desperate and go to panic or nothing, but we got to be a little more open-minded today. Got to be a little bit more open-minded today, because we losing a lot of people to a reprobate mind. These video games, this sexuality, it's like the world just so advanced now. You got a lot of men, want them pole up the booty. A lot of these men today is being turned over. You know what I mean? In more than one way, to where they tiptoeing to the other side of the line. They want them old alien. They want the same thing you want. A lot of these men. And that's why you see these guys, who be bashing women. A lot of time they bashing women because they want the favor of men. They really want men cheering them on and, yes, tell these women. Because that's going to get them more men and they DM praising them till they find one that they see is on that DL like they is, and then they can make that move on them. because they see he on that DL. So now, ooh, oh yeah, you like me? Oh, okay, yeah, all right, let's get to talking. So because of that spirit is running rampant. You know why that spirit running rampant? Because it break down the house to break down the household. So the more men you got that sexually confused and that want them a piece of a man, then the less mother father households you're gonna have, the less man and woman marriages you're going to have, the less reproducing you're going to have. And so now what the adversary want to do is create more confusion. And so now you have a lot of women that is being slept with after sleeping with a man who just got done sleeping with a man. That happening way more than it was in the future. In the past, I mean, because now it's here social media. You got grown, musty, strong, stinking men, muscles, tattoos, height, everything on this here Snapchat, on this here whatever chat, hiring them a man. To send pictures to him. There's some down there. And the man might have a wig on. The man might have makeup on, but you got one of these. And you got grown, musty men that you attracted to. That you is lusting after. But he don't want you. He want him a man swinging one of these. To send him an old picture. And that's who you'll be attracted to. That's who your spirit will jump from. You know why? Because he got a spirit on him. He got a spirit of perversion on him. And so that spirit of perversion also is a spirit of seduction. And so now the men who a lot of women is turning away is actually the pure spirits. It's actually the pure men. And the men that a lot of women are gravitating to are men who have a perverted spirit. Men who have a seducing spirit. A Jezebel spirit. And you being drawn in and don't even realize why you feel so much chemistry. It's because spirits are real. And now the man who has the pure spirit is repelling you because you don't feel a spark. You don't feel a spark because he doesn't have a seducing spirit. And so he has a pure spirit, a neutral spirit. And so it's not seducing you. And so you don't even recognize this pull. You don't feel the pull because it's not seductive. And that's where I notice is that 9 out of 10 women, I've seen women online and on TV giving women advice about men. And I cannot tell you if I've ever seen a woman give advice to a woman about men and be right. I have not ever. And sometimes people be telling me, Tony, why don't you partner with a woman and have the female version of you? And I'm like, if I'm talking about love and relationship, I ain't seen a woman that know what she talking about. Because that's not a gift of a woman to understand men. That's why you see the highest of the high women, the highest earning, the most beautiful, the most coveted women, the most envied women, still getting cheated on. Like, how many women want Jennifer Lopez's body? Even 20-year-olds trying to get Jennifer Lopez's body. And Jennifer Lopez have not been able to buy a man. Now, I don't know if Beyonce was cheated on or if they just made up Lemonade so that they could do them a tour. But, and then look at Oprah. All of her money. Still don't have a husband. Now, yes, Stedman there, but we don't know Stedman's story. You see what I mean? So you, Halle Berry. Get Halle Berry. Who she married to? Rihanna. Who she married to? You see what I mean? It's like we see people. It's like just because you may be seen as beautiful or rich, don't mean you got men figured out. So it's like if the beautiful and the rich still have the same issues as the women beneath the poverty line with men, it's like we have to take a different approach. And so that's why I'm trying to tell you, like, if you reading a man, then 9 out of 10 times you reading them wrong. 9 out of 10 times you reading them wrong. So that's why you got to try the spirit by the spirit. You got to talk to them. It's just like if you hiring for a job and you got a bunch of resumes and you just going off the resume and you just throwing resumes in the trash. The resume that look the best and sound the best and read the best is probably the worst employee, because they know how to finesse. They know how to seduce. And so they got all of this schooling, all of this experience. And it's like, I was hiring, I put up for a personal assistant on Indeed. And I got a resume, and the best resume, I mean, all kind of experience, all kind of education. And I'm like, if you got all this experience, all this education, all this here going for you, why is you applying for a $15 an hour job? What the world you been doing? What's wrong with your personality that got you on the job market available for $15 an hour when you got this Ivy League resume? So it's like, just because a person look like they got it all together don't mean they're gonna have it all together. And just because a person don't have it and not an assistant that I done hired, resume, if I read her resume, it would have got thrown in the trash. But because I talked to her personally and was able to feel her spirit, she got the job. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you got to realize is, like, we're not that good. We're not that good at reading spirits. We're not that good at reading people. We ain't that good at that. You know, we have to look at our own personal track record. And that's why we're going to have to realize it takes some time. The people that don't really sell us is typically the good people. And the people that can really, really sell us is typically the one you really got to watch. Don't mean they're a bad person. Really got to watch. And so that's why I always say, you know, beware of the person that you extremely, extremely, extremely wooed and in awe of. You got to look a little deeper. Might be the real deal, but you got to look a little deeper. Just can't say somebody's the real deal just off of a little meat. And that's what you got to understand. And a lot of times I realize we don't understand that. So listen, create a system to where if you could give your number out 10 times in a day, because that's you getting approached that much, then do that. But then make that decision on that first phone call if you're going to give a second phone call. Second phone call if you're going to give a third, if you're going to give a fourth, so on and so forth. Because you have to increase your rate of engagement, of interaction, in order to get closer to finding the person that's for you, because of the odds. So if 1 out of 10 men are good men, or even 3 out of 10 men are good men, and you only giving your number to 1 man a month, and the other 9 you turning down, your odds finna be terrible, because you passed up on 9 men, and statistically 1 of the men was the one. You see what I mean? And so that's what you have to realize, and don't just go off of looks and outfit and height and complexion and accent, tone of voice. Don't just go off of that, like, because anything could be influencing that in that moment. Like right now, I'm dressed like. Right now, my outfit, you can't see my shorts. I'm dressed like I got dressed in the dark and couldn't see nothing. You see what I mean? And now, when I get off this video, I got to go to the grocery store. And I don't feel like changing clothes. Now I'm going to have to throw on some different shorts. But if I was a single man and stepped out real quick, just tired, I'm tired today, literally. I'm tired, just stepping out there, and then you see me and I'm dressed like I've been, running for safety and just picking up clothes off the side of the street as I've been going, trying to get somewhere, and I'm dressed like that, and you like, but it actually could mean he comfortable in his skin. He know who he is. Got $1 million in the bank. But look like he can't find $1. Look like he need $1 from you. But if you judge him off that initial meeting, and you trust that little, broken radar that you got, now you done missed out on your husband. Where if you would have just gave him that little phone number, just had a little phone call, now you see, oh, okay. Looks can be deceiving. In both ways, in the good way and the bad way. So that's why I say, hey, understand, open your mind, stretch your mind, because we coming closer, to where it's getting real. The world is changing, so you just got to be a little more open. You got to protect yourself now. Put your literal system in place. Put you a system in place that makes sense and that keep you safe. Put you a system in place, like watching to make sure ain't nobody following you home. If you need to get a second phone or a second number, create you a system that allows you to increase your rate of exposure, of conversation, while protecting yourself. So you ain't inviting nobody over to your house on the first date. You ain't going to their house on the first date. You ain't letting them pick you up. You're not picking them up. Y'all meeting at a very well lit public place to where you could see, you meet them, you park where you gonna park at, get on out, go on in and meet them wherever, so that y'all ain't even meeting in the parking lot, so they don't even know what your car look like. They ain't got to walk you to your car. Like, you create the system that make you feel comfortable, but yet you could be meeting somebody new every week, and having a conversation, and then you promote, demote, or terminate. Point blank period. Promote, demote, or terminate. Hey, this is Tony Gaskin. God bless you. We'll talk soon.